Hello and welcome. You're watching DD India. I'm Gautam Roy and this is Express News, the show with 100 rapid fire updates. Let's get the show on the road. In a special media briefing, India's Foreign Secretary has said that Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be visiting France from the 10th to the 12th of this month, where he will co-chair the Artificial Intelligence Action Summit in Paris. Foreign Secretary spoke about India's interest in AI applications that are designed, developed, deployed and used in a safe, humane and responsible as well as trustworthy manner. Foreign Secretary Misri further said that at the invitation of President Donald Trump, PM Modi will pay an official working visit to the United States on the 12th and 13th of this month. The Prime Minister is among the first few world leaders to visit the US after Donald Trump's inauguration. Sharing its revised monetary policy on Friday, the Reserve Bank of India's Governor Sanjay Malhotra announced that the nation's central bank has cut its lending rate to other banks by 25 basis points or 6.25%. The first rate cut in nearly 5 years has been undertaken to support economic growth. The move aligns with market expectations as inflation eases. The RBI also estimated that real GDP growth for the next year will be around 6.7%. For the third and fourth quarters of FY26, it sees economic growth at 6.5% each. The RBI has also projected that CPI inflation for the current financial year will be 4.8%, with Q4 at 4.4%. Assuming a normal monsoon, CPI inflation for the financial year 25-26 is projected at 4.2%. With a reduction in the key lending rate, the rate of interest on home loans is expected to witness a dip, thereby bringing much-needed relief to home buyers. The new RBI governor also noted that headline inflation eased during November-December 2024 compared to 6.2% in October, though it's expected that core inflation will be remaining moderate. The governor also said that RBI will launch a campaign titled Financial Literacy, Women's Prosperity, commencing from the 24th of this month to enhance women's role in financial decision-making and household budgeting. Addressing the media further, the governor urged all banks across the country to actively participate in the campaign, recognizing the critical and multifaceted role of women in society. To curb banking fraud, the governor also announced that the Reserve Bank shall implement the bank.in exclusive internet domain for Indian banks. Registration for this domain's name will commence from April this year. And the RBI has also proposed to extend the additional factor of authentication to online international digital payments made to offshore merchants who are enabled for such authentication. Now, as the budget session of the Indian Parliament moved ahead on Friday, Minister of State for Health and Family Welfare Anupriya Patel replied to questions asked by members of the Lok Sabha regarding maternal and infant health outcomes during the question hour. Also during question hour, Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal replied to a question regarding the import and export of diamonds. Earlier in the day, matters raised with the permission of the chair were taken up during zero hour. Replying to supplementaries during question hour in the Rajya Sabha, Agriculture Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan said over 4,300 farm producers organizations have registered on the eNAM portal till the end of last year. Also, while replying to supplementaries during question hour in the Lok Sabha, Chemical and Fertilizer Minister JP Nadda said that at present, the fertilizer producing capacity of the country stands at 31.5 million metric tons. The H-1B visa cap registration for fiscal year 25-26 is set to open on the 7th of March and close on the 24th. This year, employers will face a significant hike in the e-registration fee, jumping from 10 to 125 USD per beneficiary. 6 people were killed and 16 injured in a road accident in Indore district in Madhya Pradesh early on Friday morning. 2 people on a bike and 2 others died at the scene, while 2 more succumbed to injuries at a hospital. A massive fire broke out at a jute factory in West Bengal's Howrah on Friday, No casualties or injuries have been reported and the cause of the blaze is yet to be determined. Markets now at close. The NSE Nifty dipped 43.4 points to 23,559.95. The benchmark BSE Sensex declined 197.97 points to settle at 77,860.19. The Indian rupee recovered 26 paise from an all-time low closing level to 87.33 against the USD on Friday. Gold futures maturing on the 4th of April was priced at 84,650 INR per 10 grams on the multi-commodity exchange. Silver futures for the 5th of next month maturity stood at 95,977 INR per kg on the MCX. Oil prices rose marginally in Asian trade on Friday but were on a track for a third straight week of decline due to US President Donald Trump's renewed trade war against China and threats of tariff hikes on other countries. Brent crude futures was up at 74.81 USD a barrel but was poised to fall 2.5% this week. Britain's security officials have ordered Apple to create a so-called backdoor, allowing them to retrieve all the content any Apple user worldwide has uploaded on the cloud. Denmark's biggest lender, Danske Bank, reported on Friday its fourth quarter earnings above expectations on the back of increased customer activity and said it would launch a new share buyback program of 5 billion crowns. US job growth likely slowed in January, partly hampered by wildfires in California and cold weather across much of the country. The unemployment rate is forecast at 4.1% amid historically low layoffs, with wages rising solidly. US President Donald Trump signed an executive order that accuses the International Criminal Court of engaging in illegitimate and baseless allegations targeting America and its close ally Israel. He ordered asset freezes and travel bans against ICC officials, employees and their family members, along with anyone deemed to have helped the court's investigations. The Hague-based court, in a statement on Friday, said that it condemns the issuance of the executive order by the US president and vowed to continue to provide justice and hope around the world. The Council Chief of the European Union, Antonio Costa, has warned sanctions on the International Criminal Court were a threat to the wider judicial system on Friday. Protesters gathered outside the US State Department on Thursday before blocking an intersection in Washington to voice their opposition to cuts in the US President's emergency plan for AIDS relief by the Trump administration. The Panama Canal Authority refuted a claim by the United States that it has secured free passage for government vessels through the Panama Canal while bowing to US pressure to quit a key Chinese project. Panamanian President Jose Raul Mulino expressed his rejection of managing the US-Panama ties based on lies and falsehoods after the State Department's claim. Mexican armed troops began guarding the fence snaking along the US border as part of a deal with President Donald Trump, who delayed tariffs on Mexico in exchange for increased efforts against illegal migration and fentanyl smuggling. Israel has informed the United Nations Human Rights Council that it will follow the United States in withdrawing its participation, its ambassador to the UN in Geneva said on Thursday. Ukraine received the first batch of French Mirage 2000 fighter jets as well as US-made F-16 fighters on Thursday. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky confirmed the arrival of jets as European allies seek to strengthen Kyiv's hand in the conflict with Russia. Ukrainian military reported on Friday that it shot down 81 out of 112 drones launched by Russia overnight in an attack on the country. The Ukrainian military also said that 31 drones failed to reach their targets, likely due to electronic warfare. No damage or casualties have been reported in Kyiv, though gunfire was heard in the city's air defenses. Efforts to bring peace to the Democratic Republic of Congo are gaining momentum, with the United Nations Chief Antonio Guterres calling for mediation to end the crisis. African leaders are set to meet to address the escalating violence. The occupied city of Goma remains on the brink of uncertainty. The joint summit will be held in Tanzania on Saturday. In Bangladesh, an uncontrolled mob vandalized and set fire to the residence of former President Abdul Hamid in Kishoreganj district on Thursday. The Daily Star newspaper reported that houses of Awami League leaders were attacked and torched, and murals and busts of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman were demolished and defaced in nearly 24 districts. French President Emmanuel Macron hosted his Emirati counterpart Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan ahead of a summit on artificial intelligence in Paris next week. Macron and his UAE counterpart attended the signing of a protocol agreement on cooperation in artificial intelligence between the two countries at the Presidential Palace in Paris, France. Filipino Vice President Sara Duterte has said she is prepared for her impeachment trial. She said she would welcome her father, former President Rodrigo Duterte, to join her defense team if he wished. A passenger train was engulfed in flames in Pennsylvania's Delaware County on Thursday. All passengers were safely evacuated from the train. We're taking a short break at this point. Keep watching DD India and Express News. Stay with us.
Big cities now remind us of traffic, poor air quality, bad sanitation, concrete and little to no greenery. And it is our responsibility to figure out ways to improve our city life.
Failing on segregating waste, which is extremely important. The moment you segregate waste, it's all in control.
They can function efficiently and you can completely take advantage of the capacity of these processing centers only when waste is segregated at.
The fungus is great for building because through the mycelium, the root structure of the fungus that grows underground, and that interlinking creates a more stable material.
People around each lake should come together and take the initiative to save their lakes. The government has proved itself ready to do their part as well. If the people are determined to save nature, change will not be difficult.
Welcome back. You're watching Express News on DD India. Let's take the show onwards. UN Climate Chief Simon Steele has delivered a stark message in his first speech of the year, urging countries to strengthen their climate commitments. The UN Climate Chief laid out priorities ahead of annual climate talks in November and encouraged countries to prepare stronger national climate plans this year. Heavy snow is still falling on the Sea of Japan coast. Snow accumulation is likely to continue to increase in many areas. The weather agency has urged people to be on their guard against avalanches. A strong winter pressure pattern is expected to continue until around the 9th of this month. According to the Japan Met Agency, strong cold air will continue to flow intermittently on and after Friday, and strong winds and snow are expected. The northern main island of Hokkaido faces the harshest weather with significant traffic disruptions, stranded drivers and school closures. The massive snowfall has broken records and has especially affected the eastern parts of the island such as Obikyuru and Koshiru. South Korea's capital Seoul experienced sudden and heavy snowfall with a cold wave warning now extended through the weekend. Snow accumulation on the road has also caused the traffic to move slowly. Sub-zero temperatures are forecast for Seoul in the next 3 days, with the mercury hitting a high of 0 degrees Celsius on Sunday. Cold wave warnings have been also issued for most of the northern part of the country, including Seoul. Strong winds brought on by a cold wave have hit parts of North China, bringing freezing temperatures and causing the spread of sea ice in some regions. In Beijing, 25 meteorological stations detected gusts above level 8 on Thursday. According to Beijing Met Service, strong winds are expected to continue until Friday. The lowest temperatures at night in some areas of the city are forecast to be below -10 degrees Celsius till Saturday. Incessant rains have triggered flash floods in Peru. These intense downpours have led to overflowing rivers, inundated roads and destruction of infrastructure. Onlookers in Peru watched on in the city as a storm drain surged dramatically, sweeping away mud, stones and trees. Authorities have declared an orange alert, with emergency teams working to assess damage and protect homes. Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis visited Santorini Island. He said the state is monitoring the increased seismic activity and urged the public to remain calm. According to the Indian Met Department, the maximum temperatures in central, east and south India are likely to be 3 to 5 degrees Celsius above normal for the next 3 to 4 days. A river in Greater Buenos Aires, Argentina, turned into intense red, alarming residents. The residents suspected toxic spills were to blame. Authorities collected water samples from the river, which flows into the Rio de la Plata and borders an ecological reserve, to determine the cause of the discoloration. Residents speculated that the red hue might be due to aniline contamination or chemical waste. The first National Bamboo Conference is set to begin in Nepal's Khotang district on the 27th of March with a theme, "Where there's bamboo, there's life, and where there's life, there's bamboo." Environmentalists and experts will highlight bamboo's rapid growth and its potential to drive economic development. With 81 bamboo species, Nepal accounts for 19% of the world's bamboo coverage. The 38th edition of the Surajkund International Crafts Mela was inaugurated in India's western state of Haryana. The Mela will end on the 23rd of this month. 648 participants from around 42 countries are taking part in the Surajkund International Craft Mela. Representing the ethos of rural India, the Surajkund International Craft Mela celebrates the unique diversity of Indian tradition and culture. The National Museum of Anthropology in Mexico City has welcomed a Brazilian photographer for his exhibition showcasing 230 images capturing the Amazon forest's vastness and beauty. The exhibition highlights Amazon's natural and cultural region, paying tribute to the people and cultures of the vast rainforest. Satirical ball archery art exhibition was opened in Australia. The ball archery pokes fun at significant sporting, political, cultural and media figures, all of whom have made the news in the past 12 months. Flavors blossom for Valentine's Day at the Paris Edible Flower Shop. In Piat's flower shop named Fluvivore, edible flowers bouquets are on sale for romantics wishing to buy the traditional gifts for Valentine's Day. New York Fashion Week kicked off with 3 designers at the Men's Day morning session. Veteran designer Aaron Potts, known for his genderless aesthetic, presented a collection that was born out of a displeasure of the political climate. NY Fashion Week will run through till the 11th of this month with over 60 designers showcasing their new collections in various locations around the city. The film industry's most celebrated costume designers were honored at LA's annual Costume Designers Guild Awards. The awards came as Hollywood's awards season heats up ahead of next month's Oscars. Costume designer Linda Muir won the award for excellence in period film for Nosferatu, while costume designer Lizzie Crystal won the award for excellence in contemporary film award for Conclave. Actor Angelina Jolie was honored at the Santa Barbara International Film Festival with the Molten Modern Master Award. Acclaimed film and television actor George Clooney previewed his upcoming Broadway debut in Good Night and Good Luck. Clooney is the co-writer and star of the play adapted from his 2005 film of the same name. The play Good Night and Good Luck is scheduled to begin previews at the Winter Garden Theatre starting the 12th of March with an opening night on the 3rd of April. Paramount Pictures on debuting in the first trailer of Smurfs almost 8 years since the blue characters last hit screens. The animated musical features have a star-studded cast including comedian James Corden and pop superstar Rihanna. The latest Smurfs film, which also stars Octavia Spencer, Nick Offerman, Nick Kroll and Amy Sedaris, will be released in cinemas on the 18th of July in the United States and the United Kingdom. Oscar-winning actor Matthew McConaughey is confirmed to star in The Rage, an upcoming historical drama directed by Paul Greengrass. The long-anticipated return of animated musical comedy television series Phineas and Ferb confirmed for summer release. New episodes will debut this year on both Disney Channel and Disney+. Indian actor John Abraham as starer The Diplomat teaser is out now. The film will hit the big screens on the 7th of March. Sports now, and Carlos Alcaraz eased into the quarterfinals of the Rotterdam Open with a comfortable straight sets win over Italian Andrea Bavarossi. In a day of upsets at the Dallas Open, 3 of the top 5 seeds fell, including Taylor Fritz, Francis Tiafoe and Ben Shelton. Meanwhile, Casper Ruud of Norway and reigning champion Tommy Paul have progressed to the quarterfinals of the Dallas Open. Indian tennis star Sumit Nagal's run at the Rosario Challenger in Argentina has ended after he lost his pre-quarterfinals match against Hugo Dellien. Former US Open champion Bianca Andreescu will delay her start of the 2025 season after undergoing an emergency surgery. Steve Smith and Alex Carey scored unbeaten hundreds as Australia reached 330 runs for the loss of 3 wickets on the second day of the second test against Sri Lanka and Galle on Friday. Kusal Mendis top scored with an unbeaten 85 as Sri Lanka were bowled out for 257 runs on day 2 of the second test against Australia. Ireland's left-arm spinner Amy Maguire has been suspended from bowling in international cricket with immediate effect after her action was deemed illegal. The 9th Asian Winter Games have kicked off at Harbin in China. The Games will continue till the 14th of February. World football governing body FIFA has suspended the Pakistani Football Federation and the Congo Republic Football Association from international competitions. Football, and Liverpool thrashed Tottenham Hotspur 4-0 at Anfield to set up the League Cup final against Newcastle United. Forward Ferran Torres scored a hat-trick to lead an imperious Barcelona to a 5-0 rout of Valencia in the Copa del Rey quarter-finals. The governing body of US collegiate sports changed its policy for transgender athletes, allowing only those assigned female at birth to compete in women's sports. Former interpreter of Los Angeles Dodgers star Shohei Ohtani was sentenced to nearly 5 years in prison for stealing money. And Cypriot rhythmic gymnastics judge Evangelia Trikomiti has been banned for 4 years for manipulating scores at the European Championships in May last year to ensure her compatriot qualified for the Paris Olympics. And that's it for the moment as far as Express News is concerned, but do keep dipping into DD India for all the latest.